Have you ever approached a beautiful girl and she completely ignored you? So you just approached that beautiful girl and she didn't even acknowledge your existence. She just walked past you, or she said, "I'm busy, sorry," and she walked past. The reason that's happening is because you're not capturing her attention. Just imagine for a second, you're walking around thinking about all these different aspects in your life. You're thinking about, oh, what am I gonna have for dinner? What should I text this girl? Or where is like the nearest condom store? And suddenly somebody approaches you out of nowhere. And in the beginning, you're thinking, all right, what's going on? Like, who is this person and what do they want? So you can imagine when you approach that girl, you need to get her attention from whatever she's doing, whatever she's thinking, and completely onto you.
Excuse me. Hi. I have to tell you one thing very quickly. I think you look very nice. Yeah, you look very relaxed. Is that right over there?
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Let's go.
The way you need to do that is, firstly, you need to say the right words. And then secondly, you need to have the best first impression, because as humans, when we meet another human being, we make an automatic first impression, and that takes 5 seconds. This is shown by different studies, and it goes into so much detail that it shows if you fuck up that first impression, it is 10 times harder to recover from that. So you can see how important that first 5 seconds is. All right, now let's talk about what makes a good first impression. Number one, enthusiasm. Are you excited about life? Are you a positive person? Or are you quite low energy and you're quite sad? Because nobody wants to interact with a person who's not enjoying life, who's not high on life. Let's do an example here. I approach you and I come over and I'm like this. Excuse me, hi. Can I just say something very quickly? Or I come over and I say, excuse me, hi. Can I just say one thing very quickly? You can see the difference, Number two, eye contact. When you're approaching, are you giving laser eye contact, or are you kind of looking around like this? Excuse me, hi, is this like the best place to eat around here? You can see how bad that looks. Number three, the smile. Are you going in looking very positive and charismatic, or are you going in looking miserable? Let's imagine again, I approach you and I come in like this. Excuse me, hi. Or I come in like this. Excuse me, hi. You see, when you're smiling, it looks very confident. So make sure you apply that to your approaches. Number four, your voice. Your voice projection and your voice tonality. Are you going in and can she really hear you, when you're talking in the first 5 seconds? Because the last thing you want to do is go in and she can't even hear the words. That would be the worst first impression. And then the second aspect is, how is your voice tonality? Are you going in with assertiveness, with authority, or are you going in and you're seeking approval with your voice? So I'll do an example is, excuse me, hi, can I just ask you the direction? Or are you going in and saying, excuse me, hi, can I just tell you one thing very quickly? You see the difference. All right, last but not least, the body language. This is one of the most important part of the first impression, and the reason that is because that shows your value in the approach. If you go in kind of crouching, you're going to come across as very low value. If you go in, shoulders back, good posture, you got your head up, and you're speaking with authority, which we already covered, that shows that you're a high value man. Another part of the body language is your hands. Where are your hands when you've approached? Are they in your pocket? Because that shows you that you're nervous, you know? You're not coming across as a confident person. So make sure when you approach, have your hands out of your pocket. I don't care if it's cold, okay? Don't make that excuse. First 5 seconds, have your hands out of your pocket. If you want to get your hands warm and put them in your pocket later on, that's fine. Actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a bad example of body language and approach, and I'm going to do a good example in the body language and approach, so you can see the difference. Because at this point, it doesn't even matter about the words. First example. Do you have some change? You see, even if I didn't say any words, you would have known that that is not a high value person. Now, let's look at example number 2, a very high value businessman. Excuse me, do you know where the nearest coffee shop is? So you can see if the people don't even speak, you know, you can quickly tell who's the high value and who's the low value just from the body language, okay? And that's the reason you need to be going in with excellent body language. This is also called non-verbals. All right, quick disclaimer here. When you do the approach and you maybe make a mistake or something and you're like, oh my God, fuck, I just fucked it up. Don't panic, okay? The approach doesn't need to be perfect. The first 5 seconds doesn't need to be 100% perfect. As long as you're doing most of these things I've just mentioned in the video, as long as you're doing these correctly, you will come across as quite a high value and confident person. So just because you're feeling tired or whatever, maybe you're not looking your best that day, don't make the excuse not to do the approach. Just go in and do your best. All right, signing out, Nav.